Hello, I'm Deborah Langton, and I'd like to tell you something about this book, published by Cambridge University Press at the end of 2021. This is my translation in English. The English title is Living in Two Worlds, Diaries of a Jewish Couple in Germany and in Exile. It's a very special book. Else and Siegfried ended up holding completely opposing views of what was happening during wartime. Else remained firm in her belief that there were some good people, and these were the people who had risked their lives repeatedly to save her. Siegfried, by contrast, hated Germany, hated everything that was happening. One wonders how they ever managed to live together once they were reunited after their 7-year separation. It's a very, very special book. There are, in addition, QR codes which will enable you to listen to Elsa's voice, something which I think is most unusual and very special. The extract I'm going to read is a diary entry that Elsa herself wrote on the 24th of May 1942 at Berg am Laim, the transit camp that she was forced to run on behalf of the regime. Berg am Laim is on the eastern side of Munich. There is a memorial there to her that you can go and see, and I've obviously been there myself. It's very, very touching. I can't believe it's almost summer. The days seem to fly. We receive regular news from our residents who were deported, who really did go to Piaski, but haven't managed to trace a single person from our group from Stettin, whose whereabouts are currently unknown. The only things we're allowed to dispatch now are letter packages of up to 1 kilo in weight. Heilbronner puts a brave face on things in his letters, doing his best to describe the situation in which he and his wife now find themselves, even managing the odd joke here and there. Together with other men deemed fit enough to do so, he's building roads in harsh conditions and without sufficient nutrition. Their luggage never turned up. The application I made to track down my own belongings was immediately rejected, as was the request I made on behalf of Werner. He and his father are living with us again, as his old employer, a man who really values his work, called him back in the moment he could. On the Tuesday after Easter, I received a visit from Schrott, formerly a travelling cigar salesman, but now a high-up official at Widdenmeierstrasse. He proceeded to explain that I should consider it a particular honour that the party is in full agreement with my taking sole charge at Berg am Laim, adding that a man would normally be the obvious choice for the job. I was told in no uncertain terms that I would be fully responsible for anything and everything that was to happen in the facility and would be called to account for any carelessness or sloppiness. He went on to inform me of the latest decrees recently brought into force. Henceforth, there would be a guard on our gate to check all those arriving and leaving. To this end, we would have to introduce a logbook to be made available at any inspection. Any Aryan was to be forbidden entry. Guards must make this abundantly clear. Only the Aryan wives of our Jewish residents were to be permitted Saturday afternoon and Sunday visits within the facility. It was for me to determine and communicate details of visiting hours. In addition, I was required to hold a weekly roll call in order to communicate essential information to inmates. In future, residents were to be forbidden any excursion to the city beyond going to work or on exceptional grounds such as attending a dental appointment, for which I could issue a special exit permit. I refrained from commenting on these instructions, with all their increasingly onerous restrictions being imposed on us. Constant gate duty was a burden for the men as well, but it didn't help to complain about it. It had to be organised, and it was. It was surprising how many of our folk needed to attend dental appointments and receive treatment over the next few weeks. It took quite a lot of time and effort to get some of them to understand that overly frequent trips to the dentist could result in the withdrawal of our one remaining opportunity. The professor has been back with us for 3 weeks now. He may look frail, but there's real strength within. We were so pleased to see one another again. And for me, it means I now have someone here with whom I can discuss the questions and problems that preoccupy me and weigh heavily on my mind. He can always see a good way through and give sound advice, I see him as the good spirit of our home. What really hit me hard was the decree that no Aryan could enter our home. Soon after Schrott's departure, I was called to the telephone, where Mother Superior Agatha noticed how subdued I was, and in her caring way asked me what was wrong. It's so hard that my friend from Isartal and my Quaker friend Anne-Marie can no longer come and see me, I admitted to her. And you know that I'm not allowed out, and wouldn't dare conceal my Star of David, even if I did. She looked at me kindly, saying, "Don't let that get you down. Your friends can come in through our own gate and into our meeting room. I'll contact you using the house telephone so you know when to come over. You're called to the telephone so often here that no one will notice the difference." I was deeply touched and thanked her, adding, "It's terrible that we have to use lies to help ourselves." I let out a deep sigh. Agatha looked at me, her face grave. "Please take to heart my conviction that these will not be counted as lies, which is why I have no fear of uttering them. We all lack other means of facing these injustices and defending ourselves against them, so let us do exactly as discussed. What on earth would I do without help like this? I can't even begin to list all the things these good people undertake on our account, and they do so as if it were the most natural thing in the world, without the slightest fuss or bother. Whenever I feel I just can't carry on giving my time to such endless tasks as smoothing over petty quarrels between folk, all it takes is one look at our nuns as they glide serenely by, and my despondent state melts away. Nonetheless, I do still question at times my ability to bear this burden for much longer. That's the end of my reading today. Thank you.